Mr. Chancellor, Stuart Kip Cobbett's love of McGill University began when he was a student. Highly involved in campus life, he participated in activities ranging from intramural athletics to the Winter Carnival. Immediately after graduation, he was elected class agent for the law class of 1972. From 1976 to 1985, Mr. Cobbett lectured part-time in banking and negotiable instruments in the Faculty of Law. When he moved to London, he took on the presidency of the McGill Alumni Association in the United Kingdom. Kip Cobbett a mené pendant 40 ans une brillante carrière d'avocat avant de prendre sa retraite du domaine juridique en 2014. Comme associé chez Stikeman Elliott, il a exercé les fonctions de directeur du bureau de Londres, d'associé directeur de celui de Montréal et de chef de l'exploitation de la société. Il a veillé à ce que ce cabinet en droit commercial accorde une plus grande importance à la responsabilité sociale, notamment en offrant plus de services pro bono. Avec plusieurs de ses collègues et 14 autres cabinets du monde entier, il a participé à un programme des Nations Unies visant à déterminer comment les principes et pratiques du droit des sociétés encouragent le respect des droits de la personne. Le barreau du Québec, par ailleurs, lui a décerné la distinction avocat émérite pour ses nombreuses contributions à la pratique du droit. Mr. Cobbett has served as director of numerous cultural and charitable organizations in Montreal and across Canada. He holds leadership positions in organizations such as Academics Without Borders and the Endowment Fund of Le Grand Ballet Canadien. He previously held positions with the Centaur Foundation for the Performing Arts, Bishop's College School, and the John Dobson Foundation. A McGillian to the core, Mr. Cobbett has received almost every honor possible from the McGill Alumni Association. He was president of the MAA from 2002 to 4 and chaired its task force on alumni relations, which significantly shaped the direction of alumni programming and helped secure the funding for the services and activities offered to McGill alumni. He also served on the advisory board of the McGill News magazine as both a member and then chair. Il a partagé son expérience et son expertise et son expérience juridique à titre de chargé de cours invité et co-chargé de cours à la Faculté de gestion des hôtels dans le cadre du programme de perfectionnement des administrateurs de l'Institut des cadres. Kip is a governor emeritus of McGill and chaired the board for 7 years. A scholarship in the law faculty bearing his name celebrates his superb contributions to McGill's governance. In Kip's words, McGill provided the foundation for my entire professional and business career and transformed my life. And McGill definitely runs in his family. His father was a McGill graduate, and his son, Alexander, and daughter, Anne, are McGill alumni. Mr. Chancellor, I present to you Stuart Kip Cobbett so that you may confer on him the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
I now invite Dr. Cobbett, who has just received his 3rd McGill degree, to address Convocation. Dr. Cobbett.
Chancellor Meehan, Madame la Principale et Vice-Chancelière Fortier, Mr. Panda, Chair of the Board of Governors, members of the Platform Party, proud families and guests, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2019, of which I am now a very proud member. It is difficult for me to describe the emotions I am feeling as I stand before you this afternoon. Gratitude, pride, appreciation, affection, humility. I'm experiencing all of them at the same time. To receive from McGill the highest honor that is within McGill's power to bestow provides all these emotions and more. Permettez-moi de dire merci Merci à McGill pour ce grand honneur et merci à vous, les autres diplômés, pour m'avoir permis de partager ce joyeux après-midi avec vous. Et j'ajoute à mon merci, félicitations et bonne chance à vous tous. McGill, as you may have heard, has been an extraordinarily important part of my life. Not only did my studies at McGill quite literally chart the course of a large part of my life, but there have been numerous intersections between McGill and other people whom I love. First, and most importantly, my wife, Jill. Jill worked at McGill for many years. Now, we did not meet at McGill. In fact, we met in a bar at a ski hill. But that's a story for another day. I said a few minutes ago that McGill charted a large part of my life. My wife, Jill, has charted my entire life since the day we met in 1969. I would not be standing before you today without her love, support, and advice through these years. Thank you, my darling. Now, as you heard, two of our children, Alex and Anne, are McGill grads. Our third child, William, chose to study at Western. Now, my father graduated from Commerce at McGill in 1932. I should mention, however, that he entered McGill in 1927, and until the day he died, my grandfather believed that commerce was a 5-year course. Dans le passé, McGill a eu le droit de nommer des représentants au Conseil de la Ville de Montréal. Au début des années 1950, McGill a pris la décision de nommer mon grand-père, Hugh Hanson, comme leur représentant au Conseil de la Ville de Montréal. Hamilton Galt was my godfather. When he died, Hammy, as we called him, bequeathed his Mont Saint-Hilaire estate to McGill. So McGill has been an important and constant factor and influence in the life and lives of our family. But enough of this. My job today is to deliver a convocation address. Now, warning, I'm not an expert in any particular subject matter, so this brief address will not illuminate any field of study. But I have had the good fortune to live a full and relatively varied life, and some of my experiences and observations may be of moderate use or interest to you. Incidentally, I have no illusions that any of you will remember that it was I who addressed this convocation. I hold 2 McGill degrees from many years ago, one in arts and the other in law. I have no recollection of who addressed either convocation. However, I do recall that my law convocation was shared with music, and that Burt Bacharach received an honorary doctor of music. And the only reason I remember Mr. Bacharach is because he was an eminent and popular musician, and he was accompanied by his wife, Angie Dickinson, who was a very popular actress. Neither I nor my wife can claim any such notoriety, so I have no expectation you will remember much about me or my speech. However, onward we go. Plusieurs de vous ici cet après-midi avaient complété vos études en droit, comme j'ai fait il y a 47 ans en 1972. D'après moi, le droit est fondamental au fonctionnement de notre société. And when I refer to the law, I'm really thinking of what is often referred to as the rule of law. And if I may paraphrase, Madame Justice Rosalie Abella of our Supreme Court, the term rule of law is a bit of a misnomer. The expression rule of law is really referring to the law as it is interpreted and applied by an independent judiciary. The rule of law supported by an independent judiciary is, in my view, the single most important element of a free and open society. So while I congratulate all graduates today, I confess that I reserve a special acknowledgement for those of you who are graduating in law. Not necessarily because you will be legal practitioners. The law is a great discipline and will help you in many different aspects of your lives and careers. It is not necessary to practice law to benefit from a legal education. J'étais admis au barreau de Québec en 1973, il y a 46 ans. But in the 46 years since I was admitted to the bar, I have in fact only practiced law in Canada for 16 years. The remaining 30 years have been spent as an executive in the film and television industry, then as a practitioner and law firm manager in London, England, and finally ending my career managing a law firm in Canada. Alors, on peut dire sans contradiction que les études en droit nous permettent de poursuivre bien des chemins, et non seulement la pratique de droit. But let us not restrict ourselves to a discussion of the practice of law or the study of law. In my view, it is undeniable that a university education opens the mind. Whatever discipline one studies, the result of such studies will be a better informed person who is better able to understand new ideas, to think critically, and be prepared to challenge received wisdom. Now, it is fashionable today in some quarters to question whether a university education is worth it. Such a question is then often followed by a comparative analysis of the earning power of a university graduate compared to a non-graduate, and then factoring in the monetary cost of the education, all to determine whether the education is worth it. In my view, this completely misses the point. The objective of a university education should not be to increase the earning power of its graduates. That might be the result, but it should not be the goal. The goal of a university education should be to establish and improve the well-being of a student over such student's lifetime. Let us now move on to some general observations that might be helpful to you as you enter the next stage of your life. I mentioned earlier that better educated people are often better placed to challenge received wisdom. Challenging other people's ideas is critical to the continued development of our society. Free speech is essential to a free society. There is a trend today for people to try to shut down or shout down opinions with which they do not agree. This is a worrying trend. It is all the more worrying when it spreads to university campuses and events are canceled. Thankfully, to my knowledge, there have been no such cancellations at McGill, which is a very good reflection on our students, our faculty, and our administration. We should welcome opposing views. Always keep an open mind. It is only by testing our own views against different ones that we can refine and develop our own positions. In your lives after university, do not be afraid to try new things. Do not be afraid to push yourself and to take yourself out of your comfort zone. Sure, you might not succeed, but there is nothing shameful in failure. In fact, there are some who would say that one learns more from failure than from success. Success can breed complacency. Failure should drive one to work harder and to correct past mistakes. Over the past few minutes, I have referred to the importance of the rule of law, of keeping an open mind, and of not fearing failure. Let me say a word about volunteering. I encourage all of you to become involved in some type of volunteer work. Not only will you be giving back to your community, but you will benefit from the experience. You will meet interesting people and acquire a different perspective on various issues that are removed from your normal work and life. I am a big believer in the saying attributed to Winston Churchill, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." Now, there are people today who are pessimistic about the future. Admittedly, there is much to be concerned about. Climate change, the rise of undemocratic states, the fact that Western liberalism and many of its multilateral institutions are under threat. However, I am not pessimistic. Excuse me. Our future is in your hands, the hands of young, well-educated, smart, and thoughtful individuals. We humans are very resourceful and have continuously adapted and prospered through the millennia. We will continue to do so, and you and your colleagues will lead us. I referred a few minutes ago to my grandfather, Hugh Hanson, who was named by McGill to be its representative on Montreal City Council. My other grandfather, Harry Cobbett, had an expression that has always stuck with me. He used to say, "Young man, paddle your own canoe." This did not mean to be an isolationist, nor to ignore the help and advice of others. What this expression means is to be self-reliant. Do not depend on others. Members of the 2019 graduating class, McGill has helped you to fashion and to build your canoe. Now go out there and paddle like crazy. Thank you very much. Bonne chance à vous tous.